Well, here we go. Hey, everybody, I'm the Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS. You are watching Open. Thank you. We appreciate you and can't thank you enough. Hey, coming up on today's show, we'll speak to a mental health specialist and founder of a counseling service organization that provides the blueprint for parents raising children in our communities. Then we'll sit down with a principal and educator of a career and technical educational high school who will shine a light on how their institution's new pharmacy technician program is creating opportunities for future health and medical professionals. After that, we'll check in with a friend of the show, CEO and founder of We Eat Here. Yeah, we eat here. We eat everywhere. Find out what they're doing in New York City, in New York City Night Market Series. And finally, we'll sit down with the executive director of a food justice organization to highlight an important project initiative that is bridging the food equality and equity gap for Black and brown farmers and communities. All of that and more. All you have to do is sit back, kick off your shoes, and relax your feet, and we'll give it to you. Bringing it to you right here on Open. Here we go. Did you see those football games? What? Oh, man. I mean, the whole playoff situation was like little Super Bowls all over the place. Hey, welcome back, everybody. I'm your host, Dr. Bob Lee, and you're watching Open. It's that live interactive program that brings the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. You can stay connected to us through social media at Bronxnet TV. Paisans, que pasa? What's up? Hey, you know, leading things off, our first guest is a mental health specialist, social worker, community leader, and the founder of Lifeskill Counseling Services. She joins us to discuss how her organization is equipping New York City parents with the tools to raise emotionally stable children. So please welcome to the show, Mariana Lopez. Mariana, welcome.
Good morning, Dr. Bob. Thank you very much for having me today.
Yeah.
I'm really grateful for this opportunity to talk about mental health and parenting that are very important to our families today.
Yeah. There's a lot involved, and people are reluctant to speaking about it because of that stigma situation. But what are the most common emotional and behavioral challenges you see in our children today?
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of changes. Like, for example, today, children are dealing more with stress than ever. I'm seeing a lot of anxiety, depression, low frustration tolerance, short attention span, emotional outbursts, and difficulty managing, big feelings or difficult feelings.
Yeah.
Many kids are overstimulated, spending a lot of time on their devices. They have less face-to-face interaction. And, I've seen that they feel a lot of pressure from school, a lot of pressure from social environments, a lot of pressure from social media. When children don't have the skills to express their emotions with words, you'll see those behaviors coming out. And it's very difficult for them to manage those feelings when they don't have the proper guidance.
Yeah, so this information age is helping to create a lot of stress for our youngsters. What's the most, where is it coming from mostly, do you think? Most of the stress that our youngsters are dealing with?
I feel that a lot is coming from the social media pressure that they have. They're comparing themselves with others. They've been criticized, or they have a lot of peer pressure. So that's what I've noticed. And they have difficulties connecting with their parents or having someone to talk to.
Yeah. And they get a lot of this from school, right?
Yes, a lot of times from school, a lot of times from not having this relationship with their parents. With not, a lot of times they have a difficult difficulties bonding with their parents as well. Sometimes they have to, I've noticed that they also have to develop like two kind of personalities, like one to deal with their friends at school,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and then another one to deal with their parents at home.
Yeah, I mean, that seems to be kind of normal. That's what we all, even the language, when we went outside of the home, what's up? We talk, but, when you get home, hey, mom, your dad. So, yeah,
Yes.
that's kind of normal. That's been happening for generations. But what's the difference between discipline and punishment?
Yeah, I think that discipline is there to kind of make the child feel uncomfortable or even humiliate the child, right? Punishing is just, it's not a word that I like, but I still think that parents still punish their children for their behaviors. And I think the purpose behind that is to make the child, make the their kids feel bad about themselves, right? And
Yeah,
discipline is something different. Discipline implies like teaching their children, giving them an opportunity for them to see what they did wrong so they can do something different,
yeah,
right? Discipline means like giving them the information, giving them the right tools so they can fix their problems, so they can have some type of self control, they can develop responsibility and make better choices.
yeah. They both seem to create the awareness that, hey, you did something wrong. But one is saying, hey, and the other one is saying, hey, you can do better than this.
Yeah, I
You
always
know
feel
right
like
from wrong. You know.
when you punish the children, right? They always going to feel humiliated and they're not
Yeah,
going to learn a lesson after that
yeah,
because you're not telling them what is the reason that you're giving them these consequences, right? And it's always good to give them consequences and also to talk about, to have clear rules at home. So if they are aware of the rules and the values
yeah,
that they have it at home, so they're going to anticipate their behaviors. Like they're going to be like, no, this is not expected at my
yeah,
home. My parents are not going to tolerate this. So they already know when they already have clear boundaries at home,
yeah.
right? So you cannot expect your child to behave in a certain way when you're not giving them you're not explaining them the rules.
That's right. You know right from wrong. You know right from wrong. And sometimes you don't have to yell at them, right? Parents can set boundaries without yelling. All I
Yes,
had to
of
do is,
course. We can
all,
definitely set boundaries without yelling.
yeah,
We need to talk to them. Like I said, every household should have clear rules and clear roles
yeah,
also. Like you as a parent, everyone has a different role. The father has a role, the mom has a role, and every child and every family member should have a clear role. And we should all discuss about the rules of the house, right? So once that is well defined, so everybody knows the boundaries, right? So once you have those boundaries well defined and you're following very consistent, so everybody knows the rules, right? You said, in this house, we don't tolerate heating. In this house, everybody cleans their share spaces. And this house, we go to sleep at certain time.
yeah.
That's very important to have like those clear rules.
Yeah, and you have to set them in that house because when they get out there and you maybe go to a restaurant with the youngsters and the kid wants to, present himself on the floor with a temper tantrum and all of that, and, what do you do in that case?
I always
It
say,
doesn't say that you didn't discipline them in the home, does it? Or what you did in the home is going to come out into the restaurant?
yeah, a lot of times what I wanted to do with parents is just educate them. They need to know like the stage of the development. They need to understand what happens
Yeah,
when a child's 2 or 3. A lot of kids, like for example, at age of 2 and 3, they throw tantrums, like, and it's a normal development. It's a normal behavior at that time, right? They do that because they cannot express, they don't have the language to express, so they're just going to throw tantrums. right? But we need to understand why is this child throwing tantrums. We need to
Yeah.
understand also the developmental stages. So that's why it's so important to educate the parents. It's very important for the parents to understand this,
Uh-huh.
and then they can manage better, those behaviors.
Yeah.
And in the case a child is throwing a tantrum, I always say, please don't do anything. Just unless the child is in danger, right? Unless you see blood, then you can do an intervention. Let them cool down. Let them just give them the moment, give them a moment and just tell them, I'm here, But the most important thing for the parents is just to stay calm. You don't do an intervention when the child is overwhelmed.
Yeah.
They're not going to understand. Just give them a space first, and then when the child's calm, and then you talk, and then you go to their level, you make eye contact, and you just tell them what do you want from them.
Yeah. Good idea. I mean, I can remember throwing a temper tantrum way back when I was a kid. I wanted something out of a vending machine, and my father said, "You can't have that. That's not for you." I said, "No, I want it." Of course, I threw myself on the floor and the whole thing, So people say, I mean, it's a normal thing to do, I guess.
Yeah, it all depends on the age, right?
Yeah,
When
yeah.
we see this like in about like 6, 7, or 8 throwing tantrums, then we might think it's something else, right? And then we might have to go through an evaluation to see what's going on with the child. They might have some type of developmental disabilities, or they might have some mental health issues. Yeah.
No, I just saw a comb in the vending machine that didn't fit through my hair, but I wanted that comb. But anyway, that was that back then. So what should families seek? When should families seek professional help, like mental health support for a child?
Yeah, I think it's important to see, when you see this the child, it's not I guess behaving in different aspects, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
having challenges and with their functioning, like for example in the school, at home, with their friends, and you see that the behavior is just across the board.
Mm-hmm.
And so then it might be a time for you to seek for mental health evaluation. And if you see that the child is withdrawn, it's not engaging with his friends, does not want to go out, and you see a lot of depression, sadness, a lot of anxiety, inability to control their impulses. So I think that will be a good time for
Yeah.
them, for the parents to seek mental health
But
services.
like back in the day, they used to give them the pela. They said not too much anymore now. Even with my kids growing up, I gave them that look. That's not you. You know right from wrong. And once I give them that look, they know I don't have to hit them. I don't have to spare the rod, so to speak. But that's what they did back in the day. But if you spare the rod today, then you could be in trouble.
Yeah, you can get in trouble, yes. And things have changed. Like our program teaches to the parents like zero tolerance to any type of corporal punishment,
Yeah.
right? So that's why we help them with techniques. We help them with different discipline. We call nurturing parenting, which is like helping the parents to identify different ways to communicate with children,
Yeah.
and teaching them a different way, different discipline. Yeah.
That's great. I mean, you have all the answers, and a lot of people they want to seek your help, because I mean there are people with situations that they need a correction for, so they're going to reach out to a person like you. Where can they go to find out more about you? Do you have a website or social media?
Yeah, we do have I have my social media. It's Mariana Lopez official.
Put it on. Okay.
Yeah, that's my Instagram, Mariana Lopez that official. And they can also look us at lifeskillservices.com.
There you go, Mariana Lopez, LCSW-R. And she's a psychotherapist and founder, Lifeskills Counseling Services, and a trainer and facilitator, Nurturing Parenting Program. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
You got it. All right, we'll take a quick break right here, but wait, we have more open coming up next.
Leaders. We learned that everything starts with ourselves, then we have to educate ourselves, then we have to build community and use our imagination.
And welcome back. You know, our next guests are the principal and pharmacy technician instructor of the Institute for Health Professionals at Cambria Heights. They join us to speak about the launch of their new pharmacy technician program and to shine a light on how they are helping the next generation of health and medical professionals. Please welcome to the show Dr. Gareth Robinson and Dr. Irene Mananakis. Mananakis. See, I said, you know, I'm going to take my time on that. Mananakis.
Perfect.
Yeah, we'll do it like that. Hey, guys, thank you for joining us. And I can't wait to get back and visit your school because you have a whole lot going on over there. And we love everything that you guys are doing. But Dr. Robinson, you may want to start off with this new partnership with CVS that you guys have now. Tell us how that came about and what you're doing with it.
It initially came about because, you know, we are a small school, and so each year we have about 100 or so seniors, and the school also offers an EMT program as well as a certified nursing assistant program. And so we have a lot of opportunities for kids to get certified, but we wanted to find a way to expand opportunities. To maybe provide opportunities for students who are not necessarily interested in dealing with like the frontline care of being in the hospital, being in the nursing home, being out on the ambulance. And so we looked to expand. We were fortunate to find Dr. Irene was looking to become a teacher. And so we were able to hire her as an additional CT teacher at our school. And, you know, she has connections because she spent a significant portion of her career working for CVS. And so we were able to network with the folks that she knew and then get in touch with the career development folks at CVS. And so that's where this new opportunity came about.
Yeah, and that's where the academic experience and the practical experience meet up together to help that youngster get where they need to go.
Correct.
Dr. Irene, the pharmacy program instructor, that's what you're doing right now. From the classroom to the real world practice, how does the pharmacy technician program prepare students for careers in today's healthcare workforce? And how will the CVS partnership enhance hands-on learning and job readiness?
Well, for me, pharmacy, I think, is at the core of a lot of healthcare professions, right? So if you're in the hospital or you go to the doctor's office, where do you usually end up? You're in the pharmacy. Pharmacists are very knowledgeable, and in the classroom, we try to cover everything from anatomy, obviously medications, dosing. So it's a really big picture of what we teach in the classroom. The CVS partnership will absolutely expose these students to real interactions, real people, the real medication, just dealing with everybody on a day-to-day basis, especially in the retail setting. It's nonstop. You have people constantly in there, our patients. You're trying to help them as best you can, but also just making sure that from what I do in the classroom, they just have the knowledge. And then when they're in the pharmacy, they're just spreading even more knowledge and then learning in real time, in real life scenarios. So
Yeah, I mean, when I was over there, the youngsters were very receptive to a lot of the stuff that was going on at the time. I mean, Dr. Robinson took us around to many of the different classes, and they had like leaders in each class that was like, they were in charge, and they felt, yeah, this is what I do. I can explain this. And I videotaped them and everything, and it was wonderful. They were like right there. They're on it. They want to learn, and they want to get out there and make money with it, So you guys are really in a good place. And you're in a school that has about 3 or 4 different other schools in it, in that building, right?
Correct, yeah. So we are in Campus Magnet, longtime residents of Southeast Queens will know the former Andrew Jackson building.
Andrew Jackson, yes.
So, our school is located on the 2nd and 3rd floor. And so, so we try to just add a lot of value, and we try to add as much value as we can to the kids' experience, because we know in turn they will then add value in the healthcare field.
Yeah,
or if they opt to not go into healthcare, they'll walk into whatever world they wish to pursue with a nice little skill base.
And you have a strong mission with the access and opportunity to the healthcare world. Do they go out on site to these different places? I mean, other than the pharmacy, but like healthcare companies and organizations, they have lots of job offerings too.
So, I mean, among the things we've done, our certified nursing assistant students spend most Fridays in the school year at nursing homes operated by Centers Healthcare. So they've been a great partner for us in terms of hosting the kids for their clinicals. Kids are there working under the supervision of our instructors as well as the CNAs there, and they're actually taking care of real live patients. Our EMT students, the EMT class is sponsored by Northwell Health. And so actually in about the next month or 2, the EMT students will be doing their clinicals, where they will actually be out doing rotations on ambulances under the supervision of EMT. And so they're actually out there doing the real thing. So for us, it's not about a theme or exposure. It's really about theme, exposure, and go out and do the thing.
Yeah, and they get a chance to see real people who need help, and they get them, they set them up in the bus, and they watch the technicians take care of business with them. So they hands-on, that's hands-on right there.
Doctor, if you remember the last time you were here, the EMT kids, they were doing splints, and they showed you a variety of the skills they learned. The nursing kids were showing you how they were using Hoyer lifts to lift patients, to do bed baths, and do all of these things.
That's great. I love it. Every time I go there, I see the kids are willing and able and want to learn about this profession. Dr. Mananakis, do you have any people that you see? You probably see a lot of them that stand out in your mind. You say, this guy or this girl wants to go all the way, and they're on that fast track. You can recognize them right away, right?
Yeah. I mean, you can just see that, they're somehow inspired with what I teach and how, accessible pharmacists are and pharmacy techs are. And I've had maybe 3 to 4 students that actually wanted to go further than pharmacy tech. They actually wanted to go to pharmacy school and become pharmacists.
All right.
Yeah, so that goes a long way for me, because it just shows, oh wow, I'm making some kind of an impact with the students.
Absolutely.
But see, how hungry they get about it, and they're like, you know what, I want to do this, and I was like, okay, so it's the best feeling, and it's really rewarding to see it happen.
Yeah. And they want to do it, and they know that these are good paying jobs too.
Absolutely, yes.
They're not going to fall short. Their parents are going to be very, very proud of them. And then they may take it from there. They may go on and become a doctor. Who knows?
Yeah, why not? Sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit. Yeah. So you've been teaching this for some time now, right?
It's actually my 3rd year of teaching.
What?
So I decided to become a teacher 3 years ago. I left CVS. I was a pharmacy manager for them for about 16, 17 years.
Wow, yes.
And I decided to go another route. So I'm a career changer, they say. So it's my 3rd year of teaching.
I'd say people want to follow your footsteps. They want to follow in your footsteps no matter what you do, because you're positive and you know where you want to go. So what are some of the challenges in both the areas, and what you think youngsters need to go through and need to know about? Because a lot of times, even in my business, they see us come out on stage or open up a microphone, and it looks kind of easy because, we're just flowing. But there's some things that are going on backstage that they need to know before they get there. Talk about some of those challenges.
The challenges for me, I would think, that I always try to relate to the students, is that it takes work. It's not something that comes easy. You have to dedicate your time. You have to invest in yourself. So you're investing time, you're investing energy for them to see that at the end, yes, they will be making a good amount of money, and also making sure that they truly want to do what they say they want to do. So whether it's a pharmacy tech, a pharmacist, or even a healthcare professional, their heart has to be in the right place. Most of us healthcare professionals, we do it because we want to make a difference in our community, and we truly, truly want to help people.
Yeah.
So if we can get them to have that at their core, then I think it's easy to have them continue with it. But that would be the biggest challenge, just making sure that they really want it, because it's a lot of work to get to where you need to go in any healthcare profession, I would say.
And of course, the principal of the school, guy running the whole thing, and you got students coming up to you, you got parents running up to you, and you got everybody in the building that you work with coming to you for some of the answers. And I know you guys have your meetings and everything, but what about the parents? Do parents come to the schools, and how important is that? Linking up the parents with students so they can be on the same page. Parents, students, and school.
Yeah, I mean, parental involvement is super important. We very much, one of the things I talk about during open houses and orientations is that, yes, I might be the founding principal of the school, but it is not my school. That the school is as much the kids' school, the teacher schools, the parent school, as it is mine. And so, we need to have an active and open communication with our families. And some of the work that we do here is we spend a lot of time trying to invest in the kids so that they learn to take ownership over their own learning and their own process. And so we have to work with parents a lot on, we're going to communicate certain opportunities directly to the students, because we want them to know how to make sure that they apply for something, that they stay on top of it, and that they don't become dependent on mom and dad or grandma or auntie to do all of these things, so that when they leave us and they're in college, that they know they may have to go advocate with themselves with their academic advisor. They may have to, once they're in the workplace, if you are late to work and you get in trouble, mom can't call your manager and say, hey, I know they were late, but you got to understand. So, it's trying to work with parents so that we can release the responsibility onto the kids so that when they leave us, they're ready.
And for both of you guys, finally, what message would you share with prospective students for considering a career in pharmacy or healthcare?
I think the first thing, just broadly in healthcare in general, is that healthcare is not limited to being a doctor, being a nurse. That even within, there's multiple different types of doctors, there's different types of nurses, there are all types of medical professionals who support the work of the doctors and the nurses. There are engineers involved in healthcare, there are business people, there are lawyers. So the field is so huge that even if you're interested in healthcare, but you don't want to, like, if I don't want to be the person that's dispensing the medication, I don't want to be the one that actually has to deal with the bodily fluids.
Yeah.
There's a whole range of different things that you can do that don't involve that. Like if I'm interested in engineering, I can go work for an organization that engineers medical prosthetics, that engineers medical devices. And so it's a really open field for kids of all different interests.
And it seems like an area where I think it's going to be hands-on a lot longer than just AI taking over. A lot of people are worried about that. Well, if I get into this, will AI take my job? Well, it's that personality, it's that personal touch that AI doesn't have that you have. Guys, where can people learn more about your organization, the school, pharmaceuticals?
So they can definitely visit our website at www.ihpch.org. They can check us out on Instagram, Facebook at IHPCH. And, we're always open to visitors. And like I said, we're here on the 2nd and 3rd floors of Campus Magnet in Southeast Queens.
Well, listen, thank you guys so much. We'll be looking forward to visiting you guys again.
Thank you for having us.
See you
Look
soon.
forward to it.
Let's
Thanks for having.
you have my number. Let's set something up soon.
Yes, will do.
You got it. Thank you guys so much for coming on, and come back again. Bring some of the students. Maybe you want to come
Absolutely.
live into the studio one time.
Okay.
You got it. And they can show us a few things, mix some chemical. No, don't do that. But if you want to. If you want to. It's a pharmacy. But thank you guys so much. We appreciate you guys and everything that you're doing. You're helping our community get to where they need to go so that they can be successful people in society. We love you and appreciate you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I will take a quick break and we'll come back and give you some more next on Open. There's a new channel to explore, and it's bringing the classics back to life. During the day, relive the Bronxnet originals that sparked conversations and built community. At night, dive into the hip-hop throwbacks that defined a generation. One destination, two powerful lineups. Now playing on Optimum Channel 952, Fios 2138, and streaming at bronxnet.tv. BX Legacy, where history meets the moment. And welcome back. Our next guest is the CEO and founder of We Eat Here. We Eat Here. They changed it up because, it was something else before that. But he said, you know what, let's change it up a little bit because this seems like more like it. We eat here, we eat in Harlem, we eat in the Bronx, we eat in Queens. And we got the New York City Night Market Series. He's going to talk about it. He joins us to highlight the impact of the New York City Night Market Series on helping restaurants and local entrepreneurs grow, and talk about this upcoming events that you don't want to miss. So please welcome Marco Sharma is in the house. Marco, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for having me. Good to see you guys again.
The Mad Hat is in the house. Look at all those hats back there, man.
everybody got a vice. That'd be mine.
There you go. And on the other side is the sneakers, right?
That's in the bedroom, yes.
There you go. So listen, you've been moving around a lot,
Yeah.
and you've been with us for so long now. You're definitely no stranger to the show, and you've been creating these places, extraordinary places in a lot of the boroughs, and the night market series is like everybody's talking about it now. What are you doing with it now?
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you again. You guys been accompanying our, success and the process since day one. 2017. That's the first time.
I remember the first time you came on. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's almost a decade.
Yeah.
And throughout this time, we did a lot of trial and error. We built the Bronx night market. We learned how to do that. We built some other night markets around the city, like the Uptown night market in Harlem, the Brooklyn night market in Long Island, Staten Island, vegan, Latin, all of those great initiatives. And, under the original company name, there was Mass Hospitality. And what happened is, we learned so much about what we were doing, and also the pressure point and the pain point in the city, that we decided to kind of make some moves towards like something that's going to be the new iteration of what we're doing, the evolution of everything that we've done. And that's We Eat Here. That's like the ecosystem that we're trying to build. That is an organization that has like events, it has media, it has intelligence reports, all of that to support small businesses, to support like what New York food really means to New Yorkers, and really to highlight the actual neighborhood. There's a gap over there in the market where media, food media, is mostly caters to tourists, not to locals. And we understood that, and we said, you know what? We do events for locals. We are very hyper local. We want to create some sort of content base as well that kind of puts it all together. Hence, We Eat Here. And like you mentioned, Bronx Eats Here is coming back. It's the Bronx night markets on steroid. It's Harlem Eats Here. We have a series in Harlem, and slowly we want to grow that and really focus on local food, local entrepreneurs, local community, local partners that coming together and do that. So This is the new iteration of everything we're doing, and God, I can't be more excited for that.
Yeah. Tell us about the night markets, New York City, the latest business expansion ventures.
Okay.
New York Eats. And the other thing is that you just came from Spain, right? What have you learned by going abroad and coming back and bringing it back to the hood?
Well, first of all, I learned that I love being in New York. So it is crazy like this. I always say, and I travel quite. I'm lucky enough to be, and blessed to have the ability to travel every year in the off season. And what I learn every time is that when I go to Spain, they have the best Spanish food. When I go to France, they have the best French food, and so on. Thailand, the best Thai food.
Yeah.
But when you come to New York, we have some of the best food from every country in the world in one place. This is a city of 150 different nationalities that we have, and a market that is so great that you have a lot of the top chef from every world. So outside of Spain, if you want the best Spanish food, New York City. Outside of Thailand, if you want the best Thai food, New York City. If you want the French food, New York City. And that's really what makes this city so great. And this is part of everything that we're doing. So I went to Spain. I ate a lot of good food. I got a good perspective. I rested a little bit. I got good perspective on life and what I want to do. And we back out here and, launching a bunch of stuff. The first one being the Bronx Night Market in its new rendition, which is instead of being in Fordham Plaza, which it used to be for 7-8 years, we are now doing it as a giant biannual festival. One in the fall, one in the spring, and one in the fall, and we're moving it next to Yankee Stadium at Grand Concourse. That festival, and we're going to say in a bunch of publication, and you can check more on BronxNightMarket.com. It is going to be the largest Bronx night market that we've done to date. And it's going to be on Grand Concourse and 161st, right by the courthouse, right by Yankee Stadium. And it's going to be twice a year, allowing us to do it bigger, better, more Bronx, and under the name of Bronx Night Markets, the Bronx Eats Here.
Yeah. And when does that start again?
the spring event is on, this is fresh off the press right now. This is May 9th. That's Saturday, May 9th is the first event that we have as the Bronx Night Market at Grand Concourse. And that will be the largest celebration that we've done to date when it comes to food, culture, music, fun in the Bronx. And then the second one will be the end of the year, which is October 10th. And that will be, again, Saturday, October 10th, and I'm going to be at the same location. So, what used to be 7, 8 events throughout the summer is now it's condensed into a biannual series. It's going to be bigger, better, more food, more entertainment, more fun, and really just more Bronx style. And this is kind of that's the whole point of everything that we're trying to do is to kind of push it together, bring great collaboration, great partnership, and really celebrate locality. And that's what We Eat Here is all about.
Yeah, that's great. And May 9th, that's around Mother's Day. So mothers, get ready. Come on out, and there's going to be lots of entertainment, good food, good drink.
Oh man, it's gonna be great. And it's central location. We always have like the park is right behind us as like just the scenery behind it. It just feels great. I start praying already for good weather, and I'm sure we're gonna be good. But this is gonna be something that we're really proud of. This is like basically taking everything that we've done for the past 7, 8, 9 years and distilling it into the core of what people are interested in and what really works and what really celebrates the Bronx in the best way.
So you got a chance to go away and sit back and just take a look at the picture from the outside looking in, as opposed to being on the inside trying to figure out what's going on around you. Sometimes that can be kind of difficult, but when you go on the outside looking in, you can add things to it. What are some of the things that you saw that you can help make you enhance the night market?
I love that question. Like it's kind of like one of those. We all learned that you can learn from anybody. From a baby, you can learn something, and you got to keep your mind open to kind of exploring that. Right. And I try to do that all the time. We listen religiously to our community, to our politicians, to our leaders, to the kids in the schools, to the customers that come over. But then you go outside and you see what people are doing in different places. So when I went to Spain, for instance, this time, I saw a different kind of way of doing things, like a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more enjoyable. Sometimes we live in the rat race of New York City and it's kind of wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, and then you get to some place like Spain where they really take, just take their time. Work starts at 10, siesta from like 2 o'clock till 4:30. You come back to work, dinner at 10:30 at night, which was very difficult on me like that, But the idea is like really what I'm taking from there is, slow it down. People need connection. People need to kind of have like some sort of like a good routine that they can communicate with other people. And I think this is some of the elements that we're going to create right now. It's more about like, hey, retention. Let's keep people coming in. When you come to the Bronx Night Market on May 9th, I want you to come and spend like 4 hours because you're going to have different food and different experiences and different activities. Not just like I'm gonna come over there, walk past, get the food I need and go home. I want you to stick around, sit down, enjoy different activities, enjoy different attraction, have a conversation, see this music, the first stage, see the music on the second stage, and I want you to kind of enjoy that. So that's kind of really the focus that we bring into this year is like, hey, let's slow things down a little bit. Social media has gotten us, all of us, going a little bit to hype mode, and I think we are craving that connection, that slowing down, that really just kind of being grounded.
You feel it? You feel that?
Oh, I feel that.
It's like, hey.
I wanted to say, we have the media brain, which has like publication. We write articles and different kind of thought pieces and whatnot. We published today a piece that basically talks about the fact that, similar to what we just said, it's about how we might be the last generation that cooks with our mothers in the kitchen and learn how to cook, And it's just kind of like a nostalgic piece that I wrote about the idea about, I cook with my mom, but my kids don't do that no more because it's all so fast that they got to grab and go and whatnot. And I think like, I got or this morning already, I got over 30 different text messages and emails saying to me how much that piece touched them. Somebody even says like that thing, it almost made me cry. And I think this is exactly what it is. Like
Yeah.
people craving that connection, that slowdown, that real kind of sense of family and community. And that's what we want to do.
Yeah, perhaps we can get some of that back. Get the real social media back. The real social media, interacting with one another, looking people in the eyes, shaking hands, kissing babies, instead of just throwing something in the microwave and say, we'll get it done like that real quick. Let's go.
Exactly. So, I said that about like 4 or 5 years ago. Somebody was talking to me about social media. And I said to them jokingly, I said, I think I'm doing social media wrong because all I do is go and look at what I posted. It's not really social because I'm just looking at what I did, And that's kind of like when it started triggering me, like the idea, okay, well, this is like really taking connections away from us. Let's bring it back. So this year, 2026 is all about connections, all about community, all about really understanding the grounds of like what's important for New Yorkers and doing the best we can to kind of deliver.
This is how we eat here. We eat here.
Yo.
Marco Sharma, CEO. Thank you, my brother. Social media, website, give it to me.
Bronx Night Market, still Bronx Night Market at Bronx Night Market or BronxNightMarket.com. New York Eats Here, just as spelled like that. It's on the website.com or Instagram or TikTok. And We Eat Here is the mother company, the ecosystem, spelled the way it is, also on social media, also on websites. I appreciate everybody. Thank you so much for having me here again.
Marco, thank you. We appreciate you, man. And I promise, we keep saying this, but we're always like busy and stuff like that. But we're gonna come down and eat up all of your food, man.
Come over May 9th. We'll walk around and we'll eat some good food and we'll play some games and we'll listen to some good music, man.
You got it. That's a bet. All right.
Thank
Marco, thank you. Marco Sharma, CEO, Mask Hospitality. WeEatHere.com. I don't know if he has that .com yet, but let's say that. It's all going to connect. We'll take a quick break. I've got more. It's all coming your way next right here on Open. Welcome back. Our last guest is she's the executive director of Corbin Hill Food Project. And he joins us to highlight how this nonprofit virtual food hub is bridging the food quality equity gap and empowering Black and brown growers and communities. So please welcome to the show, Ismail Samad. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
No, yes, sir. Thanks for having me, bro.
Yeah, I'm bouncing, but I just want to know. I want to thank you for coming on and sharing this information with us because a lot of people don't know. Tell us more about the Corbin Hill Food Project and how the idea came about.
So yeah, Corbin Hill Food Project's been operating in New York for about 11 years, founded by Dennis Derrick. And the idea was simple. There's about 140 Black farmers in New York State, which represents less than 1% of farmers in the state. So there's about 60,000 non-Black farms, in the state. So how do we bring an opportunity for these farmers in the city to be able to take part in the economic realities of food, right? Food brings people together, but also it's an economic opportunity for people who are not Black. So how do we begin to think about these challenges, invest in change, and put together some real, not just in study, not just in theory, but invest in real models and infrastructure to support these farmers who have been intentionally locked out of opportunities in the city. So that's where we were, and I took over. I used to be on the board. I had to step in to kind of Dennis is man, he's like 87 years old.
Yeah.
So trying to make sure we got some permanence and sustaining the legacy of people who have been doing work in this work for years.
Just keep feeding them that good food. They'll be all right.
Exactly.
So you want to give a shout out to a number of people who are working with you, helping you with this project?
All day. I mean, you don't do, they say it's, it takes a village, right? We don't do this stuff alone. We work with the Black farmer ecosystem. And that's a list of different organizations that come together to create these realities. Soul Fire Farm, in no particular order, Corbin Hill Food Project, Farm School NYC, Black Farmers United, Black Farmer Fund, and Northeast Farmers of Color all come together to create the Black farmer ecosystem.
Yeah.
To create these opportunities.
And these are like upstate New York and upstate in New Jersey and Long Island?
Well, yeah, primarily it's upstate all the way into the city, and our influence goes into different markets in each of the boroughs. And soon to be launching our permanent space, in Harlem at 140th and Frederick Douglass.
I gotcha.
But yeah, so we have, and then we actually work with other organizations all the way out to Buffalo, Buffalo Go Green.
Oh,
so
all right.
a lot of folks are tied to this work. So we can continue to invest in change that's specifically for us.
What are the biggest barriers to food justice in our communities that you serve? And how does your approach uniquely address them?
I mean, the barriers started from the inception of this country, right? I mean, so the barriers, we know what they are, right? We're operating in a slave economy that prioritizes others and not us. So overcoming the reality of that, the stigma of that, like even just the stigma of farming as a Black person, do we really want to farm when we think about farming as being like, connected to our existence as human beings in this country? But as far as the economic piece, once we start to threaten, the economy, we continue to be marginalized and kept out. So what we're trying to do is have an emancipated supply chain from the land to the transportation, to the distribution, to the manufacturing, and then to the market. So now we would own all of this infrastructure. So now we can have some protections that are created by our intentional investments, and then being able to share a shared narrative with folks to get everybody bought in. Because again, it's barriers all along the value chain, from the land to even the consumers. We're our own barriers too. Like, I don't want to pay, whatever, it's $3 a pound for a tomato when I can go get it from this other system. Perhaps we would pay $3 a pound for a tomato if we knew it was grown by our neighbor, and that is the truth. That's what we start to see. Once we start to build the connection that we all are kind of connected to this extractive, oppressive system, we start to invest in ourselves. So we look at all these different barriers, and so which one you want me to jump into, right? It's like, which one?
I see you going in there, though. But Ismail, how do you keep everybody on the same page? Is this like a coalition you're trying to work, or you have, it must be difficult trying to keep everybody on the same page with all of the entities that you mentioned a little while ago.
Yeah, we meet regularly. We got, we have a way to move that allows for us to, exist within our own organizations, but also share learnings and failures, successes. And then we challenge each other to stay true to mission. And the challenge, of course, is funding, right? And so what we end up doing is making sure we don't compete for funds. If we're applying for something, we're saying, hey, look, we're gonna collectively apply. We're going to go at this together. So we try and really maintain an open, transparent relationship, with everyone who's doing the work.
Yeah. And I'm going to jump around just a little bit because I don't want to run out of time. I want you to get a lot of that stuff in there. Can you explain the feeding the block model, how it creates dignity and joy and food access?
Yeah, Corbin Hill specifically works in this framework through a food access, food justice, and sovereignty framework. And so feeding the block is connected to food access, making sure our communities who need to eat get food, you know, how they need it, right? You know, in a way that engenders dignity. So we have a food as medicine program that we do. We have a couple. We have some farm share projects. Sites around the city, and then soon to be opening at the farm stand. At the farm stop in Harlem at 140th. Will be this sort of intentional space to allow for folks to come in, experience how food shows up, and if you need something, we'll figure it out together. You know.
Yeah, I like that food as medicine program that you just mentioned, because there are a lot of people dealing with diabetes and really have to relearn how to eat so they can. It's like you have a car; it's all automatic. It does everything for you. Your body does everything for you. But when you have you're type 2 diabetic or you're type 1 diabetes, you have a stick shift. You have to drive your car. You have to shift the gears and know how to eat for the diabetes. Do you teach a lot of that stuff there?
Yeah, we've got a registered dietitian, you know, on our team. We also have a, you know, community chef, Chef Yadi, who goes out to communities. We do we do skill shares, teaching folks how to make their own spice blends, saison, you know, different things like that. So we don't use the weaponized food system to continue to poison our bodies. Mm-hmm. And so if we can actually have some control over what goes into our bodies, like you said, we can maintain it, right? We need to take the same way we take care of that car. We have to make sure we got good fuel going into our bodies. And so we make sure that food and things that, it's the same thing what Marco was saying earlier, like, again, making sure that cooking with our family, understanding like the recipes even that we use at home are not what is sold in the stores. You know what I mean? The sofrito that we get in the store is not the sofrito that we cook at home. But yet we are programmed into kind of grabbing these things. So our whole thing is making sure that when we make these things, it's connected to our traditional practices, not the food system that is going to give us poison.
Yeah, and that sometimes the body says, you know, you've been feeding me this stuff for a little while. I'm going to just mess with you for a little while, because this is not what I'm not used to eating this. It tastes good, but nutritionally, it's not good for you.
Yeah.
Thank you for all the information. You got to come back and share more and just set up a whole thing here at the studio, too. I was telling Marco the same
absolutely.
thing.
You got to come to our spot when we open up. It's in April, so yeah.
All right, that's in April, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Let us know. All right. But for now, give us the website and social media where we can keep in contact.
Yeah, you can find us, you know, at corbinhill.org, and then social media is, you know, Corbin Hill Food Project.
All right, thank you. And where's that location? I know you're on 140-something Street. 140th?
Yeah, 140th and Frederick Douglass. Right across from Lawndale, so like right there.
Oh, there you go. All right.
Yeah.
All right. I'll check you out. Thanks for coming on and sharing that. That's a wealth of information. And thank
absolutely.
You for that.
Appreciate it. Really do.
You got it. And come back again, all right?
Oh, it would be a pleasure. It would be a pleasure.
Ismail Samad, Executive Director, Corbin Hill Food Project. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today's show. Oh, no, we got to go. I want to thank you all guests for joining us and you all viewers for tuning in and checking it all out. You keep following us on Bronxnet TV for continued coverage, and thank you for letting us share in this space and time with you. You can check out other shows on Wednesday and Friday for new episodes of Open. Always remember this: what you are is God's gift to you. What you make of yourself is your gift to God. To choose your choice, let your choice control the chooser. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee. I'll catch you another day, another way. I'll see you over 107.5 WBLS. I love you all. Peace.